I'm joined now for more on this by the CEO of the US Studies Centre, Michael Green. Michael, a star-studded opening day of the National Convention there for the Democrats. We had Hillary Clinton, Kamala Harris in that surprise edition. But obviously it was a lot about Joe Biden tonight, last night US time. How would you characterise the tone of the event?
Well, it was excitement. This would have been a very tough convention, frankly, if Joe Biden had been the candidate, because the polls were so bad for him. So there's a sense of energy in the Democratic Party you can really sense that was not fake. But at some level, it must be a little bittersweet for both Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden, who have been up there as the candidate. She lost, of course, to Trump in 2016, and Joe Biden stepped down after his disastrous debate performance. So you have to wonder what was going on in their heads. When President Biden was introduced by his daughter, she was very tearful. His wife got very emotional. 50 years in public service. So they're trying to give him a tribute, but it's not the way he thought it would end.
It was very much so from the outset of his speech, him handing the reins to Kamala Harris. I mean, this could be one of his last major appearances before he leaves the office in 5 months' time. You mentioned there the bittersweet moment for him and his family there. But he really did seemingly throw everything he could behind Harris, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, he ran against Donald Trump in 2020 because he believed Trump was a threat to democracy and that it was a historic moment. And he probably still believes that. And so he is sincerely, I think, giving his all to his vice president, the now nominee of the Democratic Party, Kamala Harris. So I think that was sincere. I don't think Joe Biden carries a lot of votes with him. So it's really more about the symbolism than the actual turnout he'll get. But I think it was an important thing, in part also because Trump and the Republicans are saying this is all rigged, it's all fake, that Joe was deposed. And he's showing, no, I wasn't. I'm all behind Vice President Harris. Yeah,
it's interesting you say about what votes that Biden will bring there. He spoke for 45 minutes, and much of that energised speech spoke about his last 4 years and what was achieved there. How important will his legacy be to Kamala Harris being re-elected?
Well, it's good for her, actually, that he comes out and talks about the past 4 years, because she wants as much as possible to be, even though she's an incumbent, the candidate of the future. So that was a helpful role Joe Biden played. That said, the numbers are not great for the Biden-Harris administration. One key poll in America is, do you think the country's going in the right direction or the wrong direction? And still, in spite of the excitement about Harris, a significant majority of Americans think we're going in the wrong direction. So that's a bit of a heavy burden for her to carry going into the election, despite the energy and excitement she has.
You mentioned some of those polls there. I mean, we are hearing that since her being the nominee and about to be endorsed and accept that nomination, that the polls really have shifted in their favour, though. What are they telling you?
Well, if it had been Joe Biden, they would have been underwater in the polls. It would have been a really tough situation. She's now tied or ahead in most of the key swing states, places like Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, that you have to win. So she's ahead, but within the margin of error. So it's really still very, very close. She's had a great couple of weeks. She's basically owned the media narrative in a way that you don't get in politics very much. She's owned it for weeks now, and now she'll have probably with the convention another week. So she really has a lot of momentum, but politics is unforgiving, and I think she will start to hit some headwinds, and it's going to end up being it's a very divided country politically. It's going to be a very close election.
Joe Biden didn't miss the opportunity to attack Donald Trump and discredit him. Do you think we'll see a lot of that during the Harris campaign?
Yes, and I mean, every political campaign is about taking down your opponent, so that's a given. But I think in the case of Donald Trump, as Hillary Clinton pointed out in her speech, he's the first convicted felon to run for president in the United States. So they want to keep hitting that theme. But Harris has done it in a clever way. You know, for Biden, it was Trump is a 10-foot-tall threat to democracy. Harris's approach is to diminish him, make him seem like a petty political figure, and it's been effective. We'll see how long it continues to be effective, but that's the tone that I think she's finding works. And he hasn't figured out how to fight back yet, but he will.
Yeah, I'm sure that we'll get something from that. We've spoken about the former Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton. Obviously bittersweet for her because back in 2016, she had a very different role. She was there tonight in support of Kamala Harris as well. What do you think she brought to the night?
She was able to do something that I think Vice President Harris won't do, which is really emphasize what a historic moment it is that we could have the first woman of color as president of the United States. I think it appears that Vice President Harris has decided not to make that her brand, because she doesn't want to seem like a progressive, left-wing, woke politician from Northern California. So I think Hillary Clinton was the one who came in and said, famously, we put cracks in the glass ceiling, and she made that case. And women are supporting Vice President Harris, even in the swing states, by about 17 points more than they are Trump. She has a big advantage among women. And so Hillary Clinton helped to reinforce that, particularly for a demographic of women probably 30 to 60 years old who were really excited about Hillary Clinton in 2016. So she does bring some, probably even more than Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton does bring some real votes and excitement.
This is just day one of a 3 or 4 day event. What is in store for the rest of the week? What are you expecting to see?
Well, it's interesting. The Democrats have promised a different theme each day, but when you look, it's hard to tell how they're different. It's the future of America, the future of democracy. It's very broad. It partly tells you that they had very little time to get ready for a Harris campaign. Yeah. And there are even reports, I'm sure you've seen, that the party platform still mentions a Biden second term in some places. They have typos. So it shows you how much they've had to scramble. And so they've kept it a bit vague. So they have some room to keep building and surprise people. There are even rumors that Taylor Swift and Beyonce will appear. I'll believe it when I see it. But
Isn't Taylor Swift in London on her tour?
Yeah, it
anyway.
doesn't quite add up. But they've managed to create a bit of... this is what Donald Trump is so good at.
Yeah.
He's a reality TV star who made you want to tune in to see what's next.
Yep.
In a
Making
rare,
it entertaining.
Yeah, the Democrats have not been as good at that. They're doing it a bit this time.
Well, Beyonce is the singer behind her campaign song as
Yes.
well. So who knows? A lot more to come this week. Michael Green, CEO of the US Study Centre. It's always great of you to join us. Thank you for scrambling to get here.
Anytime. Thank you.